Okay, let's dive right into this. If you've ever found yourself totally tongue-tied, or just, absolutely frustrated mixing up was, did, and had when you're literally just trying to recount your day, well, you're in the right place. Today, in this explainer, we're exploring a brilliantly visual approach to finally untangle these three tricky little words. So, ask yourself, do you feel paralyzed trying to remember all those textbook rules? Because the real revelation here, you probably don't even have a grammar problem. Nope. Your real problem is actually a lack of storytelling. You're out here trying to remember abstract rules instead of just telling people about your real life. So here's what we're going to do. Mentally take that massive, heavy grammar textbook you've been lugging around in your head and just drop it on the floor. Bang! Done! No more rules. For this explainer, we're shifting our mindset completely. We aren't doing grammar today. We're just learning how to paint a beautiful, accurate picture of your actual life. All right, section 1, the big three, painting the picture. Let's get into it. We're dissecting the core of this whole concept, the big three. These are the absolutely crucial words you need to confidently paint that picture of your daily routine. And we're going to look at them through a totally fresh visual lens. First up is the word was. I want you to picture was as a literal cloud that physically surrounds you. It's your internal feeling or your current situation. It represents a state of being. It's not something you do with your hands, it's the atmosphere you're sitting in. Let's hit some rapid-fire examples to lock this in. I was tired. Think about waking up in the morning. That tiredness, it's a physical feeling, floating right there in your personal cloud. You don't do tired. You just kind of sit in the feeling of it. About I was at work. See, it isn't just for emotions. It establishes exactly where you're planted in the world. You are sitting inside that situational state. And finally, I was stressed. We've all been there, right? Staring at a desk full of papers and cold coffee. That internal state perfectly fits our was metaphor. You're just totally enveloped in a storm cloud of stress. But hey, we can't just sit in our clouds all day. We actually have to take action. And that brings us to our second word, did. If was is your internal feeling, did is your external productivity. Imagine you're physically holding a to-do list and actively checking off boxes. Tick, tick, tick. Did means you produced something. You finished an action. Look at this first example. I did my work. You used your hands. You put energy out into the world, and you completed a professional task. Boom. You successfully checked that box right off your list. The exact same logic applies here. I did my homework. You're showing the completion of an academic task. You took action, and now that action is over. And we'll wrap up this bit with, I did exercise. Notice the clear pattern here? Work, homework, exercise. They're all tasks that require active physical effort and energy. You check them off the list. Okay, let's open the secret door to our third and final word, had. Now, we're going to introduce had with honestly my absolute favorite visual metaphor from the source material. Imagine you're wearing a backpack as you walk through your day. You aren't doing a task. You aren't feeling an emotion. Instead, you're collecting experiences and moments in time, and you're just tossing them right into that backpack. Let's say your computer suddenly breaks at the office. What did you just collect in your day? A problem. I had a problem. An unexpected negative event becomes something you physically possess right inside your metaphorical backpack. And what about this one? I had a meeting. Now, a scheduled event sitting around a big table, well, that's not an action you do with your hands, like a checklist, and it's definitely not a feeling. It's a block of time. It's an experience you carry with you. You possess that time. So straight into the backpack it goes. Moving on to Section 2, Inside the Mistake Lab.
All right, strap on your mental safety goggles because we're going to troubleshoot some bad habits. Take a look at this one. I was due my work. We hear this mix-up literally all the time. But think back to our metaphors. You cannot be a floating feeling cloud, was, and a physical action, do or do, at the exact same time. It's impossible. So to fix this, we just easily transform it into a pure checklist action. I did my work. Check.
Here's another frequent visitor to the mistake lab. I did tired. Again, think about your checklist. Can you physically complete the task of tired? No way. You can't tick tired off a list. So, we fix this by switching right back to the cloud metaphor. You sit in that feeling. I was tired.
And finally, I had go to work. This one is incredibly common. So let's clarify. Had represents an experience you possess, while go is a physical movement. To fix this, we've got two perfect solutions. You can use the simple past movement and say, I went to work, or you can put that obligation right into your backpack by saying, I had to go. Both are totally natural and completely correct.
Which brings us to Section 3, Tell Your Real Story. Imagine you're sitting in a coffee shop after a long day, synthesizing everything we just went over. Check out this perfectly structured mini-story. I was tired, I had a lot of work, and I did everything. Look how naturally that flows. You established your feeling cloud, I was tired. You showed us the heavy experience in your backpack, I had a lot of work. And you proudly ticked off your checklist, I did everything. You didn't think about a single grammar rule, you just painted a masterpiece of your day. I actually want you to take a mental screenshot of this summary table right now. Seriously, lock these concepts in forever. Was is your cloud for feelings and situations. Did is your checklist for actions and tasks. And had is your backpack for experiences and time. If you just keep these three visual anchors in your mind, a huge weight is going to be lifted off your shoulders.
And this brings us to the golden rule of our entire explainer. Tell your story, not grammar. English is simply a tool to share who you are and to paint your unique picture for the world. When you connect the words directly to your lived experience, fluency just becomes second nature. Now, because the absolute best way to learn is by doing, I've got a practice challenge for you. I want you to write down your own mini story using your feeling, your experience, and your action. Drop it right down in the comment section below so we can see your storytelling in action. Drop that heavy textbook and start speaking about your real life. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to really cement these metaphors in your daily routine. Think about the day ahead of you. What experiences will you intentionally collect and put into your backpack tomorrow? Take control of your story, keep painting your picture, and I'll catch you in the next explainer. Keep practicing.